What's up, guys? You know I had to do a Braves video with this stellar Brave shirt. Loving it. And so close to spring training, I wanted to continue the top 5 burning questions video series as spring training gets underway on the 14th. Love Day equals love baseball. It's a perfect match. Absolutely incredible. And obviously, number 2 on this list is something that we have dealt with for a while. The question of who our number 5 starter is going to be. You've got a lot of options. The depth isn't as plush as it has been in years past because we did a lot of spring cleaning, so to speak, of guys that are injured, fringe guys, or guys that just we don't believe that fit now and in the future. And we did a lot of that this offseason with guys like Jared Schuster, Michael Soroka, so on and so forth, Kyle Wright as well. And I wish those guys the best of luck and thank them for what they did for the Atlanta Braves. And obviously, health is the biggest key to any pitching staff, but especially with the Braves. And that's why depth is a little scary, and you would want like a better safety blanket, but you never know what could happen. That's why they say you can never have enough pitching. But Max Fried, Spencer Strider, and then Chris Sale, Charlie Morton's pretty salty for, if you ask me. And you could interchange Spencer Strider, Max Fried, but I would assume Max Fried gets the opening day nod because of him being a lefty. And then obviously you've got Bryce Elder, who's probably got the inside track for the 5th spot because of his star turn. First half kind of hit a wall in the second half, and the book got around on him a little bit with the velocity. Not necessarily something you can get away with if you get mistakes, but Bryce Elder, Alan Winans, Darius Vines, the young prospects of A.J. Smith-Shawver, Hurston Waldrop. Although I will say I think Hurston Waldrop and A.J. Smith-Shawver will play a big, huge factor in the success of our pitching staff this season, whether or not they win the 5th rotation spot. Ronaldo Lopez, probably the most intriguing pitcher of all our staff because he's more of the hybrid, and I like him more in the Colin McHugh role. Anything goes. But he said he's going to get a chance and an opportunity to start. And if that becomes a good thing, 3 years, $30 million is going to look like a genius contract. I think it's genius anyway with the versatility he provides. But if he becomes that guy in the 5th spot with the amount of velocity and stuff he has, I'm all signed up for that as well. But ultimately, I think he's a reliever in my mind. But we'll see what happens there. But you also got guys that did yeoman's work for us last year, kind of bridging through the Max Fried, the Charlie Morton injuries last year, the Alan Winans, the Darius Vines. And I'm not ruling out a guy like Owen Murphy or J.R. Ritchie coming out of nowhere, Dylan Dodd. I mean, Dylan Dodd looked like Sandy Koufax last year and earned himself a spot. And Oscar Inoa has been there, done that. Let's just hope he doesn't punch any more benches. If he's able to come back and be a quality pitcher for us, that would be a nice shot in the arm coming off of Tommy John surgery. I think he's a full participant. Able to be a full participant in spring training, so that's awesome. So he's an intriguing guy to watch as well. He's been there, done that. Was our best pitcher in 2019 before his bench incident in Milwaukee. So there's that as well. Obviously Ian Anderson, but probably not until mid-season. But he's had some really good moments as well. So I'm just kind of going through the guys that you could possibly see. Even I'm not going to say this right, Spencer Schwellenbach from Nebraska. Possibly he's a younger guy. Haven't seen too much of him because he's been a little bit injured, so maybe he can make a splash in spring training and open some eyes and keep his name in the back of our mind for when we need a spot starter or something. But there's a lot of intriguing, different type of storylines that you could see out of the 5th spot in the rotation. Also, who knows? Because there's so many quality guys still out there on the free agent market, which is still kind of mind-boggling to me. But could we go for a Jordan Montgomery or a Blake Snell or somebody I'm not even thinking of? I'm going with somebody I'm not even thinking of because that's usually how Alex Anthopoulos does. But maybe the price tag will go down and the Braves will feel comfortable with it. I don't know, but that's also a possibility. Also, if Bryce Elder starts the year in AAA, you get an extra year of service time. Obviously, the Braves don't care too much about manipulating service with how jetpack laden our prospects have been the last few seasons, but that could be a factor as well, depending on if Elder struggles at all or not. But there's a plethora, the $25 word, I wanted to get that one in there, of options. And yeah, it's not the flashiest of depth, and you always want more starting pitching, but there's a lot of storylines to follow in terms of the pitching staff and how the roster is going to shake out. But the 5th starter rotation spot is definitely a storyline to follow from the beginning to the end of spring training, and typically these things work themselves out, and these things are definitely fluid because last year Jared Schuster and Dylan Dodd were our 4 or 5 starters, and then it flipped to Bryce Elder quickly, and he established himself, and typically these things work themselves out and the solution kind of peaks eventually, but it's definitely going to be fun to follow. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, helps out a lot. Thanks, guys. As always, go Braves, champions forever.